Hey everybody, Crafting Journey here. I have just made my first stop on my trip. I'm out of town, and I stopped in this little town called El Dorado, Florida. Population about 12,000. Went to this little Goodwill, great finds, and I only spent like $25, but I got some really good stuff, like new in the box stuff. So I hope you guys, I'll wait till a few of you come in so we can talk about the Nicolas Cruz verdict. We can also talk about the verdict in the Alex Jones case yesterday. Both were a little stunning, I have to say. So, hi, I see we got one person so far. If you're watching back on the replay, don't forget to, leave me a comment, say #replay, let me know you were here. And, I'm driving. I'm trying to be a safe driver. So I'm just going to get back on the interstate and then we will be fine as far as driving goes. And by then we should have a few more people in here. Got 5 people so far. Okay, I'm going to talk about the Nicolas Cruz case. The verdict is in. It took, oh my God, forever for this poor judge to read the verdict. And yesterday we had a verdict in the Alex Jones case. So really good stuff. I could talk a little bit about Darrell Brooks yesterday. Once again, he was arguing with the judge about this whole, when are you going to, rule on my motion for subject matter jurisdiction? And nobody has any idea what he's talking about. So what happened yesterday was he issued a subpoena to the state of, whatever state they're in, where are they at? I don't know. Waukesha, Wisconsin. So they issued a subpoena in Wisconsin, he did, for the state of Wisconsin, who is the plaintiff. And the judge was trying to explain to him that this is not a civil case, there are no plaintiffs. There's the prosecution, that the state of Florida is not a person, it's a, it's the state of Florida, or state of Wisconsin, and you can't subpoena the state of Wisconsin. It's an entity, it's not a person. And he's like, well, I have the 6th Amendment right to face my accusers. And she said, you're absolutely right, but that's not a person. You can't. And this went on for like 30 minutes. I have the right to face my accuser, and I want the plaintiff on the stand. I don't know who he thinks he was going to get as the plaintiff. I have to stop here and get a ticket at the turnpike. Dad, I'm getting on the turnpike. All right, let's get a ticket. Then they went through some more very emotional testimony from families. At one point, there was a gentleman testifying about a woman who had flown up on top of the SUV, was knocked off, and then run over by the SUV under the right front and the right back tires. And he went to her aid, and he realized, because he thought it was his wife, and when he realized it wasn't his wife and that the person was deceased, he went ahead and went on to find the rest of his family. And then when it came to the cross-examination of this individual, you could see that Darrell Brooks was quite emotional. He could hardly speak. He said, I need a minute. He kind of covered his face for a little bit, and he just had to kind of compose himself because it was really emotional testimony. So let's talk about Nicolas Cruz. So the jury, they came back last night about 4 o'clock, and they wanted to see the weapon. They wanted to see the AR-15, whatever that rifle was. So there was a banter about, how they could do that safely. And so the judge said she was going to go ahead and send them home. And that first thing this morning, oh my God, that's a big truck. First thing this morning, by then, she had put in a call to the Broward Sheriff's Office so they could maybe give her some kind of guidance on a procedure of how the jury could be shown this AR-15. So she said, well, by the time we come back in the morning, I should have answers about how we can do that. I don't know what happened with that first thing this morning, because as soon as I got on the road and turned it on, everybody was waiting for a verdict. So the verdict was read. It's very complicated. The jury said that they were, that they did believe that the aggravating circumstances warranted a possible sentence of death. But one or more of the jurors, and it only takes one, said, we don't believe that the aggravating circumstances outweighed the mitigating circumstances. So he was not sentenced to death. He will be getting life in prison. And this was on each and every charge. Every charge was read. It was all similar. Every one of them, one or more of the jurors, thought that the mitigating circumstances had been proved by the greater weight of the evidence, and that they basically outweighed the aggravating circumstances, and that he should be sentenced to life. So, the courtroom was packed with family members, and my heart goes out to them. They were visibly disappointed in the verdict. I don't have really feelings one way or the other. I'm not even sure I believe in the death penalty anymore. So he will get life in prison. So any comments? Did you guys get a chance to watch the verdict from yesterday in the Alex Jones case? Alex Jones was found liable for defamation. He went on the air on his show InfoWars and basically stated that the Sandy Hook massacre was all staged, that the family members were crisis actors, and the jury came back yesterday, and they had been, Alex just acted like a complete ass during the time that he was in the courtroom. He was not present in the courtroom yesterday during the reading of the verdict. He was actually on the air on his show while the verdict was being read, and he was mocking it. He was openly mocking the verdict, making it sound like it was sort of an Oprah Winfrey type thing. You get $1 million, you get $1 million, you get $1 million, sad. He doesn't take any of this seriously. He thinks it's all a conspiracy. But when that verdict was read, my jaw dropped to the floor. So, and I immediately started writing down all the figures that were being thrown out, and for each plaintiff, because they went through each and every plaintiff, and I'm kind of wondering how these 6 jurors came to the conclusions that they did as far as, compensatory and emotional distress, because each plaintiff had a different number. The FBI agent was awarded $120 million, and that was the highest one for the FBI agent. And then the other family members who actually lost loved ones, theirs was different amounts, and it added up to $964 million, like $800,000. So basically $965 million, close to $1 billion. So that tells me the jury believed that, Alex Jones's company, Free Speech Systems LLC, which is the parent company that was the defendant, has the ability to pay that he's making, millions of dollars on the products that he pushes on his channel every day. It's not a channel. He's not on YouTube anymore. They kicked him off. Most social media platforms have suspended him. He can't go on. He just has his own website that these conspiracy theorists go to, and they all join in and kumbaya. It's pretty bad. So what's everybody up to today? That's the show. That's the recap for everybody. What are you guys up to today? I am headed now into Kansas City. I stopped in the little town of El Dorado. Unless I see another little town between here and Kansas City that I might also stop in. What I want to do, my goal is to get over to the bins in Kansas City. Because I've not ever been to the Goodwill bins, and I just kind of want that experience, in my business, and see if I do find anything. Stopping in that little town was I found some really good little treasures, so I thought that was a good day for that. So we'll see what the next one brings. So tomorrow's show, Crafting and Crime Daily, will also be live. I'll have live recaps. I'll be able to update you some more on the other trials that are going on, Jarrell Brooks and George Wagner. I did not tune in to George Wagner yesterday, just time factors, so I'll try to catch you up on those two trials tomorrow morning. It will be live, just like today's show. I'll be driving. I'll be traveling on business, just to stop at different thrift stores to support my reselling business. So thank you all for coming to the live. Don't forget to hashtag replay, give me the thumbs up, and I hope to see you guys tomorrow live in Crafting and Crime Daily. Take care, everybody. Bye.